in the game, you guys started off fast, and then you had that little lull, and then came back. How did you like the way the offense just competed in the course of the game?
Yeah, did a really good job of that. Stayed the course. Yeah, we had a lull there in the middle of it, late second quarter, first drive of the third quarter. And they did a good job of pulling back together, getting there, calming down a little bit, and going back and playing ball. So.
And then, we've asked, about some of the explosive plays in the passing game. You had a few, I guess, no pitches. How did you like the way you guys were kind of?
Yeah, we threw and caught the ball well. We executed well. Did not hurt ourselves. We had very, very, very minimal drive killers throughout the entire game. So when we stay on course and the run game's working like that, then again that forces the defense to make some decisions and open up things in the throw game. So that it was good that we were able to throw and catch those.
The offensive line was shifted around, obviously, with Malachi coming in. How did you think they played?
I thought they played tremendous. Everyone gives Rio the credit, and Rio did a tremendous job. Don't get me wrong, but those 5 guys made it pretty easy for him. We were on the guys we could be on, and then Rio did a good job of making a guy miss who we would leave for the running back. So all over the line, O-line, I thought did a really good job.
Did you feel like that was the difference in the run game, or was there something else that allowed Mario to have?
No, they did a really good job up front in the run game. I think, again, we took advantage of the fact that they were playing soft early, and then, we hit them on some nakeds and some stuff like that, which kind of opened that up a little bit.
And how much, how important was it for Mario to have that game when obviously Brandon gets banged up, you don't have Greg and Sutton back
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, running back room is an interesting one this year. So it was awesome for him to step in and do what he had to do there. I think getting Demir some reps back there was good to give a change up on some things. But Rio played a tremendous game, did a tremendous job, made a guy miss, which is what we need him to do. We were able to block the guys that we can block. There's always going to be one free hitter, and on Saturday, Rio won those battles and made the free hitter miss, and that's where some of his big runs came from.
And how big was Kobe in that first half to help get that passing game away?
Yeah, Kobe's always there, and Kobe's the I hate to say it, but it is. He's the other guy in that room. People come in and game plan for us. They're gonna know where Rock is. They're gonna know where Demir is, and they're gonna make sure those guys are covered. And Kobe's and the tight ends are taking advantage of those situations. So, quarterback has as much faith, if not more, in Kobe than anybody we got in the team. Kobe's gonna be where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be there and catch it and make plays. So, Kobe was just active being himself, and those plays hit for him.
And how much does, like, if you look at like MTSU and USF, they weren't scoring at the level that North Texas was, and so you guys didn't need to put up as much points. Just how much does that impact how you play call and game plan and what you're trying to do offensively?
Our game plan going into a game is always the same. What you got to be able to adjust on is what's going on during the game, and that's where some things then change. What are you doing in the second half of a 2-possession lower scoring game as opposed to what you're doing in a shootout type game, But going into the game, we have to have that same mentality, that same fast start mentality, and then the game itself as a coordinator, you got to feel what the game is turning into as to where you are and what you're doing in those situations. But North Texas is a really, really good offense, and that quarterback they got is a really good player. So we had to continue to score and keep them. What I thought we did a good job of offensively is our answer drives. So they tied it up, we scored the next time. They went ahead, we scored the next drive. They went ahead again, we scored the next drive. Those are very, very, very important drives. What I'm preaching this week to the offense that we got to be better as a foot on the throat drives. When you have the ball with the possession lead, that drive is obviously just as important to give yourself a 2-possession lead and give yourself some breathing room. And that's what we got to be better on. That's what we weren't great on last week.
Kind of off that, it feels like that touchdown to Demir, that drive was really important because that was when the lull was happening. Did it feel like that kind of catalyzed the rest of it?
Yeah, that was a big play by Demir, great big throw, great protection. Everyone sees what Mario did in the run game and everything, but he made a block on that play that saved our tail. There was a free hitter. Somebody missed a block. There was a free hitter that Mario went away from his assignment to pick that guy up and allow Seth to slide, buy him the time he needed to buy. We had Rio one-on-one against one of their safeties. Demir one-on-one against one of their safeties, which is what the scheme of that play was, to get Demir one-on-one against that kid, and he won it. But Rio's the one that came across and cleaned up the free hitter that allowed Seth to slide and buy that half a count to get there. So that was a big play. And that's, when you have a lull, someone's got to step up and make a play. Demir did. Rio did in that situation, even though he didn't have the ball in his hands. Seth made the throw and got us kind of back on track there.
You kind of said after the game, he was like, last season, midway through the season, was when we kind of turned it around offensively, and he was hoping that a performance like this could do that. Do you feel like this kind of performance is going to help do that this year?
Yeah, I don't really look at it as you're up, riding up or going down or what it is. College football is, I would say, similar to my golf game, where every shot is independent from the one before and the one after it. Every game is independent from the one before and the one after it. It was good to do what we had to do last week. We got to continue doing that this week against a tough Charlotte team.
How's your golf?
Horrible.
Speaking forward to this week, what did you see from the Charlotte defense?
They play physical, they play hard, they play tough. They got good players, but the biggest thing is they play physical and tough. They follow their head coach's mentality, and that's a guy on the sideline with no sleeves, you know what I mean? So they play physical, tough type of brand of football, and that's one of the keys to games, that we got to out-physical them, out-effort them, and beat them in that side of the game. Obviously everything else, but that's a big part. That's what they hang their hat on, is their physicality.
And even on plays that, like the deep ball to Rock, that play was there. He didn't make the catch, but having that play be there, just how much pressure does that put on the defense to try to have to game plan, or not game plan, but scheme for that in the game?
Yeah, and again, it goes into understanding how you're calling the game and what the defense is giving you. At that point, Rio was going off. The run game was going off. So now all of a sudden people start getting a little bit closer to the box. All year long they're playing back and covering Rock. They're playing back and doubling Demir, forcing us to show that we have a run game. All of a sudden you start showing you have a run game, defenses need to stop their run first. Safeties start to inch a little bit closer. Linebackers start to come a little bit closer. You start to get more one-on-ones on the outside with Rock, one-on-ones on the outside with Demir, which is what we got in those deep throws. So it all works together. And if the run game's working, then they can't sit back. If the run game's not working, they can sit back all day long, all they want. And we're not going to get those throws. Once the run game starts working, now the safeties start coming up. Now is the time you take those calculated shots that you talk about, and we just got to execute them.
Do you expect, I'm kind of about that, so Charlotte obviously watched the film from this game, they saw what Mario did. Do you expect that maybe teams like that moving forward are going to switch to defend against that more?
If I had that answer, it'd be awesome. College football is the best reality show there is. We'll find out Saturday. We watch all this film, we watch all this tape on what they do and what blitzes they bring and how they play people and everything. We'll find out Saturday after the first snap as to how they're going to play us. And we'll have a plan put together to take advantage of how they're playing things.